This story begins around the same time as part 5. While the detective went to visit the government records building, our cowboy got a little message from the police headquarters in Bend City. A week ago, due to the green disease, the command center was severely understaffed. It was a skeleton crew, and the skeletons were not happy with the conditions and pay the government was giving them. This led some to quit, leaving the headcount to dwindle even more. The government paid no mind to this. However, due to the green disease again, many people were sick and weren't going outside as much, so seemingly crime was low and the police really had nothing better to do than sit around. That was until one fateful night, when the count of the guns was off by 1. No one cared as nothing had come of it. But then the next day, more weapons were missing, riot shields disappeared, and soon many of the staff said they were seeing ghosts. This led to today, where rogue employees shared these occurrences to Cowboy Curb privately. Cowboy Curb realized it would be really terrible if the weapons came into the wrong hands, so he decided to head to the police headquarters, while Robo went to the hospital to check up on Joe. When he entered the building, it was freezing. His cold breath was visible, and his shoulders shuddered more than ever. He decided to turn the morning coffee he drank earlier into a nice warm jacket to wear for the time being. Where's that cop? He said he'd be here, but I don't see anyone around. Cowboy Curb decided to welcome himself in and checked out the place. It looked abandoned, but modern at the same time. Everything looked in place, but with not a soul around. It was all just unsettling. Once he found the armory, he peeked through the door. Nothing was spotted. He then went in and saw it completely empty. Nothing was there besides some potted plants. This is really odd. They took everything from the guns, outfits, even the chair. Tried to investigate the place, but there were no footprints, and Cowboy Curb doesn't even specialize in solving mysteries. He decided to call his buddy Pika, but there was no cell service. So, with not much left he can do, he decided to head out of the building and just contact the employee for failing to show up to work. That's when he saw them blocking the exit, sitting on a chair. Good day to you, cowboy. Sorry that I was late to meet up with you. I was just making sure there was no way you could get out here alive. Who are you? And just so you know, I've defeated worse enemies than you. If you think your trap is going to work, then you're delusional. Thanks for the reminder. My name is Mr. O. We've been ordered to kill you and your friends. No hard feelings, just following orders. You're all alone, man. I think you meant to say I instead of we. Oh, you're right. Guess I'll spawn in my army. Mr. O's shadow then expanded, and came out his minions. They looked like unarmed knights, but they were unarmed. This made the job easy. Cowboy Curb started blasting away the shadows while keeping a safe distance, making sure they could never attack him. I see that you outranged my shadows, but that is of no concern anymore. Mr. O then spawned in new shadows, and then instantaneously armed them with the stolen guns. It was clear that the situation has changed, and not in a good way. Cowboy Curb decided to make an automatic assault rifle to fend off these gun-wielding knights. Cowboy Curb had to parkour across the entire police HQ, dodging bullets like a trained resurrected murderer, while shooting the shadows down left, right, and center. But Mr. O kept on spawning in more and more shadows. Curb had to escape the building, so he made the dynamite from jailbreak and blew up one of the walls and jumped out of the building from the 3rd story. However, the shadows were relentless, and they all jumped down and followed him through Bend City. Even though Cowboy Curb was an excellent cowboy, he still couldn't stop all the shadows, which means the bullets he dodged made contact with the handful of citizens still on the street. A moment occurred when the sky's sapphire color and the cloud's fluffy shape was vandalized by an explosion. The roaring sound was heard by Curb, and once he looked up towards it, he could finally see something yellow, free-falling. He couldn't quite get a good look at it though, so he took a quick break and decided to eat some parts of a car's engine and windows, and after a short while, he made a telescope. With it, he zoomed into the gold blur and saw there was some guy falling, and also his good friend, Detective Pika. Now, the situation has gotten horrible, but it's up to Curb to save the day. Cowboy Curb decided to get his horse, which he kept parked here in this random spot, and galloped to the location where it seemed like Detective Pika was going to land. Mr. O then also spawned shadow horses as well, and so while the horse ran towards the goal, Curb had to shoot us to silence, chasing him on horseback. It was an intense and riveting chase sequence that ended when Curb decided to use the remaining amount of materials he had left in his stomach to create blades. These blades were strong enough to cut through buildings, and Curb decided to destroy a building close to them so it would kill, or at least obstruct, the Shadow Army. It was a success! The road was completely blocked by the unlimited 6 blades launched by our cowboy. After all that, Cowboy Curb arrived at the scene of the location. It seemed Pika was only mere seconds away from becoming Waffle House's new menu item. So Curb decided to start the mukbang and ate everything he could get his pink hands on, and he spent all his neurons trying to come up with an item that could save Pika from this dangerous situation. Do I make a comfy mattress? No, that might not be enough to stop his descent. Do I make an airplane just fly towards him and catch him midair? No, I have no idea how to create an effective airplane and I have no fuel. Dang it, what do I do? By that time, it was too late. Detective Pika made contact with the surface and landed on Curb's huge, super bouncy body, which became humongous from all his feasting. The day was saved! Kill yourself!